Okie dokie. I figure I'd take a little bit of time and do another update on the 69 Camaro. What I'm doing on it today to get it ready to start put the quarters on the car. Before I do any of that, I'm going to go ahead today and sandblast the inner shells of the door. I know it's something you're probably not going to be able to see very easily in the actual camera, but you'll see there's some places under here where there is some rust underneath the paint that I want to address. So I'm going to go ahead and sandblast the inner part of the door shells the best I can. And I had to replace this lower door hinge because someone decided to cut the pin out, the roller. So I got it in, new one. Need to clean that out, and these aren't totally loose, but there's a little bit of play in it. So that way I can get the doors hung on, make sure I got all that lined up well before start cutting off anything with the quarter there. Make sure it's lined up so that way we can use that as a body line to line the doors when I put the quarters on to make sure it looks really, really good. So I'll go ahead and take some time and do that. I did get the trunk drop-offs. I think the first ones I got were Dynacorn, and like, I'll just show you really quickly. Some of the differences in some of your sheet metal manufacturers. See how pretty and crisp the line are on the original ones other than where it was dented? What I'm saying basically is this right here has got a very nice crisp, like squared off line. The other one that I had, which was I think a Dynacorn, they just didn't look anywhere near as pretty. None of the lines here were anywhere near as prominent, just like this is. Because I'm trying to make it look as close to original as possible. And I'm not even sure the manufacturer of this. I didn't know that I got it from the Body Shop Price. BSP is where I got them from. Also, it does have the little drainage holes too, where the ones weren't even drilled for it, just like the GM ones here. And once again, being a nitpicker, I want to make sure it was right. And then also under here where I've sandblasted it and put it in primer, all under there, so it's all nice and clean. I didn't do this quite yet for the stiffener for the quarter, because I'm waiting to cut it off, but I did sandblast all the way up in the top and the back. So it is pretty clean, at least, for the next part of the project. And then I will pull the other door off. Do the same thing. Pull the glass out. This one is the one that's a little bit rough. See how much the door's got wiggle in it? The hinges are going to need to be rebuilt on this before the quarters go on. But same thing. This is where I started sanding. I didn't know what was going on, but then I seen underneath it where it was all that rust. So I was like, yeah, if I've gone this far, I might as well go ahead and do it right. Sandblast all of it and finish it all out. Plus, I've kind of decided to change up this thing a little bit compared to the way I had it. I think I have decided, since it is a real X44 car, I don't know if you'll be able to see this very easily. Yep, X44 Glacier Blue, dark blue interior. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a big block in it, do a Copo clone, because I got everything to build a 496 currently for the car. And then I think I'll go try to pick up a 200 4R, because my goal is to keep it on the column. On the column, put the standard blue interior back in it. I might do the deluxe seat covers in it just because I like them a little bit better, especially on a long ride. That vinyl gets kind of hot and sticky. But to kind of make it a little bit more driver friendly, I do have a 12 bolt to stick under it. It's gear, I think it's a 308. Open. I'll put a positive traction unit in it. If I do the 204R, I might go a little high, do like a 342 gear, just so it makes it a little bit more fun to drive. But I'm not going to build it crazy. I think the bigger cubic inches would be a lot easier than this small motor that's really cammed up. We'll put it in the correct location. We'll move the motor over and set it all up. And take this out and put in something else, I guess. But stay tuned. I'll probably do some sandblasting, and I'll take some more video. We'll sandblast those door shells and once again, stick it in epoxy and hopefully get them bolted back on. I do think I probably have a roll pin kit for the door hinges. Might be able to get those in today too. All right, hold on. And before I get too far, just to show you how it cleaned up, this is after it's sandblasted. I did go ahead and start spraying a little bit of epoxy, but I figure I'd document how clean it did get. Went through all the way down here at the bottom, as you see, no holes. And the inner structure looks a lot better. I also sandblasted on the backside here, where there was that hole, and it didn't get any bigger, which is a good sign. You see a couple layers of the paint where I did the black and the epoxy on it before. Oh, focus. I'm gonna go ahead and prime it down and get this one bolted back on the car and hopefully get to the other one. All right, so now I got the driver's door off, blasted, looking clean. So looking good here. I gotta pull the plug out real quick. Sandblasted it really good, even inside the top. So that way I ain't got to worry about rust coming back. I know it took a little bit longer than I thought. Ended up doing some other project. That old zero turn. It's going to be kind of hard to see it, but stitched up some patch panels for the front. I'm going to sand it, fix the bottom of the deck too, and probably bedline it. But that thing runs good now. So now all that's left to do, what I'm probably going to do now is epoxy it, put it inside, go get some food, and I'll bolt this back on tomorrow. All right, let me take another video as soon as I get it in epoxy.